in our division, and it's going to be a wrap from there. Pittsburgh opening week. I can't wait, baby. Byron Leftwich is going down. Oh, yeah, me in. That's what I'm talking about. Young Ja going to perform. ATL.
What's going on down in Carolina there, Will?
What's going on down in Carolina? Well,
Hog
it
Moss.
looks like it's still a competition. There may be a possible. There's still a competition. No, not quarterback competition between Matt Moore and Jimmy Clausen. You don't think so, right? Nah, I think it is. I think
it ain't no race. Matt Moore has like single-handedly took that spot from him.
Nah, I mean, I think they're grooming Jimmy Clausen for later on in the season. I think around week 9. I think Jimmy Clausen is going to have the job.
The big question is, how is the loss of Peppers going to affect the defense? That's the big question in Carolina right now. Is John Fox going to be here after this year?
John Fox is pretty much a sit-and-duck coach. Everyone knows that. He's heading to this last year without a contract extension. You have their running game is still one of the best in the league with D'Angelo Williams and Jonathan Stewart. I think probably a season from now, you'll probably see Jonathan Stewart take over that spot as the number 1 running back.
I heard Petey Pablo going to get in the game, dog. Take his shirt off.
Hey, what about
you didn't hear about that, did you?
Steve Smith? Do you think he can regain his form?
I think Steve Smith will regain his form, but I do think they're going to need to get him some help on that outside. He's getting up there in age. He's still a good wide receiver. He isn't explosive as he used to be.
Okay.
Well, hopefully this season, Everett Brown, pretty much who's going to be replacing Peppers, produce a little bit more than his rookie season. But what's going on down in New Orleans there, Wally?
Well, we all know Drew Brees is Drew Brees, still effective. Actually, I don't like Reggie Bush, but I can be honest. He kind of looks good in the preseason, even though it doesn't matter, but he looks good in the preseason. He looks like he's running in between the tackles, and he looks like he'd be a good fantasy stud, actually. You might even think about drafting him. Defensive-wise, I mean, there's a question. Jonathan Vilma might miss the opener with a groin injury. So they have their fingers crossed for
Sharper,
that.
he's out for the opener, right?
Yeah, he'll be out for the opener as well.
It's questionable. Right now they got like a rookie that's been starting in
what's
the
up with
first team.
What's up with Lance Moore?
Lance Moore, he still looks good. They still fight. They're battling. No, they're battling. I mean, that position, Lance Moore is set in his position. In terms of wide receivers, the only the true wide receiver battle they have is Michigan Adrian Arrington and I believe, I gotta look it up. Yeah, Rod Harper. Those two are battling for the 5th spot, but Adrian Arrington's had a good. He's had a good preseason in terms of his yardage. He's had a couple big explosive games and whatnot. So that looks good. And also, in terms of they have a running back battle between Ivory and Liddell Betts, the former Redskin running back, and he looks good. I mean, he's an undrafted free agent from a D2 school.
Right now, I'm going to talk about Tampa Bay. Right now, that's going on in Tampa Bay. It's a big youth movement. They had they brought a lot of draft picks in. Mike Williams, Arias Ben. They had the 3rd pick, Gerald McCoy. And they also had Brian Price, a sleeper guy on defense that they got from UCLA, the D tackle.
Like that.
So right now, their front 4 is pretty much a young unit, but this is probably their best front 4 since like Warren Sapp and Booger McFarland days right now. Because between McCoy and Price, they're going to really start to create a little havoc for
What's
them.
up with the star cornerback Talib?
Right now, he's going to be catching a suspension, that 1-game suspension over his little. Don't yell at me or anything over a taxi cab fight, Wally.
It's all good.
But I guess he got to beef with a cab driver. So
Nigerians do,
he has like a little anger issues. I think Rondé Barber needs to like talk to him a little bit. But I mean, hopefully, right now that's a young team. I mean, Josh Freeman, his development is pretty much moving very rapidly because last season was supposed to be a season he pretty much was supposed to sit and watch, but the quarterback play last year was so terrible that.
Will he start the opener? Because I've been seeing Jim.
Right now, it's pretty questionable, but I don't see why he wouldn't.
Okay.
I don't think Josh Johnson has really showed enough that really even warrant the start opening because Josh Freeman is pretty much the future.
If they don't have a winning record, you think Raheem Devon still gonna be the coach next year?
No,
Raheem Morris.
I think that he's going to be given 3 seasons, and I think this year they're pretty much. I think they're going to win maybe 1 or 2 more games. I got them winning maybe 6 games, and maybe even 7. I think they may go on a little run at the end of the year when everyone starts to click. Because the thing about it, this is a very young team and has a young defense. They're really going to fall on their defense. In other news, Derek Ward has pretty much been cut. I think he's on the way to UPS to fill out an application. So we might see what's up.
Hold back on Tampa, though. How do you feel about Cadillac?
Cadillac's doing what he always does. He had a healthy season, so he's coming into camp pretty much healthy. He doesn't have any lingering knee problems from the past. So right now he's going to pretty much be the feature back. And Ernest Graham's getting moved over to fullback. So But on other news, that guy that may be not have a future in Tampa Bay is Michael Clayton, a guy who got out big his rookie year, and ever since then his career is pretty much going downhill from there. But me personally, I got Tampa Bay winning maybe 6, maybe 7 games towards the end of the season. They may surprise a few teams in the South, but hopefully Raheem Morris will keep his job.
When they come down I-85, they getting swept.
I like 7. I like 7. Actually, 7 to 8. I actually like the defense. I think their 2 D tackles, McCoy and Price, are something to mess with.
And I think another point that not too many people are paying attention to is their linebackers. Don't be surprised about their young linebackers with Barry Rudd and Quincy Black, particularly Quincy Black. Keep an eye on Quincy Black this year because they're going away from that. They're going back, pretty much going back to a little bit of that cover two, where they're going to use more of their speed. So
there's only been one good Quincy in sports, and that was Love and Basketball, though.
What about Quincy Carter?
They're getting swept when they come to Atlanta.
Quincy Carter.
Quincy Carter, baby.
But we about to hop into that commercial break. When we get back, we're going to talk about that fantasy. We're going to stay on the NFC South and talk about a few guys who you should think about picking and who you should not pick.
Take my advice. Hey, what's up? It's your man Ray Rogers of the Urban Sports Scene, and recently Will T and I set out on a mission to see what the people think of our show. All right, there's Mike Wilbon right there. Wilbon, what you think of our show, dog?
I should say the next, it's the big thing.
Oh, that's what's up, man. We feel the same way. Coach Rivers, Doc Rivers. There's Doc Rivers. Go ahead, Will T. Good interview with him.
Coach Rivers, how do you feel about Ray no longer being the host of the Urban Sports Scene?
I mean, Ray, he was absolutely sensational.
Yeah, I feel the same way, man. I thought I was great as the host, but it's all good. Big ups to my man Fish. There's Alvin Gentry, man. Coach Gentry. What you think about Fish being the host of the Urban Sports Scene?
I've always been a big fan of his.
Oh, so you familiar with him before the Urban Sports Scene when he was host of the Mac Fish Show?
So no, I'm not saying that, okay? No.
So what are you saying? Anyway, man, let's move on. There's President Obama. Obama, my man Will T here, he dissed World Cup, man. What you think about him dissing World Cup?
He's a jackass.
Keep it locked to the Urban Sports Scene, because you never know who's listening. After all these years, dog, I had Maroney when he was good when I beat you, dog. You traded for him.
It doesn't matter. The record books will show championship won for Williams.
That's wild.
It's all
Two-time
good.
Commissioner for Ray.
It's all good. You know, 2 times, 1 time, man.
And then we got
About to be the vocal commissioner. Keith gonna be the quiet one. So it don't even matter. Championships don't matter.
It doesn't.
Because y'all was all in here scratching for Randall because he ain't got no rings. You going
Exactly.
stupid rings. I was fluke.
I've never said anything.
And then I helped you. I shouldn't help. I should let Jude advance. You was like, dang, I did like talking trash though. Like you was blown as you lost. You trying to play it off.
I was blown.
You said, I ain't ready. It's all fun. It's all fun. He's like,
That's what y'all
he was
say.
like, but dang, I did
That's
like
what
talking.
y'all
I was like,
say.
well, I'll take care of it.
When they-
I'll change the score because they did mess
when-
up when Anquan Bolden.
When you lose and you quiet, but when you win, you're all high and boisterous. That's how it always is, man.
Well, once next week start, you can't talk about the past no more.
I know.
Yeah, so you got a
I
week.
got a week.
You gonna go
You
like
got a week.
you would go like 4 and something. Why? Because you ain't that good. Dog.
I was good enough to predict I would win it. So I'm
There
good
you
enough
go.
to win
No,
it
who don't
again.
pick against themselves? I mean,
It's
only
the
person that
difference
do that shit
between
was
not
like,
picking against yourself and putting it on the board for everybody to see and making yourself a target. Like Rex Ryan, that's me. I'm Rex Ryan.
Put a video out, then holler.
you know, you're like John Gruden.
You say whatever you want. John Gruden. That's too much credit.
Too much credit, dog.
You like Keyshawn Johnson.
I'm like Keyshawn.
You got on a good team finally in one time. But, and then you retired early.
Damn. Has it been that long? Say, what happened since I've been gone, homie? Y'all got the game all wrong, man. It's too pretty in here. Let's say we take it back to the trap one time. Hey!
Welcome back to the Urban Sports Scene, man. We were talking big fantasy trash talking going on during the break here,
He's
but
about to be real right now.
yeah, some guys may be losing that title this year. Matter of fact, I'll be bold and say they will be losing that title this year.
Wow.
I mean, it's been, you know, winning one. I mean, I got more than one. Well, how many you got, Walt?
I got a couple.
I mean, one is just like,
How many you got, Ray?
Dang. I sense a new fantasy football rivalry right here. And right here.
You gotta be good to be a rival.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know you haven't won anything.
and you know what's wild
have
about
all
this
this
conversation?
already.
What's so wild about this conversation is
Right in
it's
front of
because
us.
of Ray that he won. Ray could have did him dirty and took his title away.
Because
Ray could be in the NCAA right now and take your Heisman away, Reggie Bush.
Exactly.
This is great. This is great.
At the end of the day, I'm the champion. I won. All of you are beneath me. So I don't even know why I discuss fantasy football with you all. Because you're my friends.
Wow, you have one title, one playoff appearance.
And talk to you about
The one thing as a champion
football.
I don't do is I don't draft a kicker.
But you're not a champion, so you can't do
We'll
anything.
see. I'm gonna copy this.
You know what? You know the difference
We're gonna have
between you
this
and us,
back
though, Will?
in the
You're a
future.
champion. We're champions. It's more trophies in them bookcases.
Go ahead, 50. Come back at Ja Rule. You gonna go ahead, Jay-Z?